if not done right, you can get yourself into trouble in many different ways. There's additional clarity to the administration's position. Administration officials, including the president, have talked about Syrian chemical weapons in its own category of off-limits activity by the Syrians. This is the first time the president has said that the use or provocative movement will change America's strategic calculus about what to do in Syria, implying that perhaps we'll use military force. That is, in itself, that is a new formulation. But to try to remain being analysts. I'm not a fan of this formulation. Because while it sends a very strong message to the Syrians that the use or even the threatened use of chemical weapons is what will trigger some American-led international action, inadvertently it tells the Syrians that anything else is not going to trigger American action. And genocide, mass killings, murder on the scale perhaps even greater than Srebrenica in Bosnia. And I think it sends an inadvertent message to the Syrians that could be quite damaging and quite negative. I appreciate the positive aspect of this, which is it takes a category of Syrian action and threatens real American military intervention. But it is such a narrow category that it essentially is a red light on chemical weapons, but a green light on almost anything else. We're not, they're urged not to be journalists, if that's what you mean, but to try to remain being analysts. The Syria conflict is moving from the horrible into the nightmare phase. The slow, grinding civil war is beginning to trigger all the worst sorts of outcomes that people feared. Namely spillover into neighboring states, huge refugee flows, perhaps even the violence in neighboring states, not just the flow of refugees. The use of CW, the use of chemical weapons, is one of the potential negative, nightmarish outcomes, but not the only one. And we have focused, it seems, on that one and not the entire range of what I would call outcomes that have strategic implications for the United States. And we're beginning to see the others come to pass.